NIMBY, the garbage barge from Islip. This is Sara Jenkins from the Arizona Geographic Alliance. This lesson is perfect for 5th grade, and it'll take you about 2 class periods. First, I'd like to share with you one of my heroes. This is Pete Seeger, and he's giving a rendition of the song that was actually written by Bill Steele. Seeger wrote the last stanza of it, and it's called Garbage. And if you want to, you can find on the internet a version in which Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street actually sings with Pete Seeger on this one. The overview. Well, environmentalists had tried for many years to generate interest in the landfill crisis, and yet no one cared. Garbage has to go somewhere. The average American produces 4 pounds of garbage a day, so it's got to go somewhere. If you don't want it in your backyard, where should it go? So the purpose of this lesson is such that the students will learn the value of communities working together to solve a problem by charting the voyage of the garbage barge. Materials you need include this book, which is entitled Here Come the Garbage Barge. And again, I want to point out the illustrations here are done by Red Nose Studio. Also, you will need the North American continent map worksheet and answer key. And this is the map you're going to be working with. I know it's little, but that barge is going to go a long way. You'll also need highlighters, atlases if you think the students need them. And then there are 2 articles that you can certainly use, but they are a little involved, and Gail Ekus combined them into one article and lowered the readability level. And then also you'll need this worksheet, which talks about the environmental affairs in New York, and this is what you'll use for the cause and effect. And for charting that voyage of the garbage barge, this is the answer sheet. You're going to be going from city or state to country and country, and that's what you need this paper for. So the objective, well, one is to identify cities on a map and then determine cause and effect when reading informational text. 3, describe the importance of citizens being actively involved in their community issues. And 4, discuss the effects of human migrations on the landscape. So the first thing you're going to do in session 1 is I write the word NIMBY on the whiteboard. And I make it go down. I put N-I-M-B-Y. Ask anybody what it means. And I didn't know what it meant until I became a member of the Geographic Alliance, so I'd be surprised if they know, but you never know. And basically, it's an acronym, and it stands for Not in My Backyard. And then ask your students what kind of facilities would they not want in their backyard or next door to them. And some things that I think in my area where I live, we've got a prison, a nuclear generating station, a big box store, or it could be something as a busy store where there might be a lot of traffic, a daycare center where people are coming and going a lot, a freeway for the noise, or even a homeless shelter. Any things that they really don't want to be next to. And then tell them today they will be looking at a NIMBY issue of where to put the trash. And that's a picture of the garbage barge right there. And here's the book. It's a great book, and as I mentioned in the illustrations, they actually use garbage to make some of the illustrations. And the author is Jonah Winter. Now, the garbage barge has just gotten the okay to leave from the town of Islip, Long Island, which is right outside New York City. They've got a bunch of garbage, and they don't have room in their landfill. So someone has contracted for that garbage to go to Morehead City, North Carolina, which is where I used to live, and take it, and then they're just going to bury it in some farmer's field there. So the garbage, let's see, the barge rather, is on its way to North Carolina. So it says, The Break of Dawn, which is the name of the tugboat and the barge, was a happy little tugboat. Her captain and crew was Captain Duffy St. Pierre, a crusty old sailor. Together they tugged the garbage barge down the east coast of America. Toot, toot, said the tugboat as it entered the harbor at Morehead City, North Carolina. Smelling something strange, two old sisters who lived on the beach ran and got their binoculars. "Look," said Miss Alma McTiver, "it's garbage." "In our beautiful harbor?" said Miss Ida McTiver. "What the hairy heck? That ain't right. Call the law." So a police boat went out to greet the garbage barge, and it wasn't a friendly greeting. "You can't park that garbage in our harbor." "I've got orders to dock 'em here, and I'm going to follow 'em," cried Captain McDuffie. "I'm afraid you can't do that," said the policeman. "Would blow me down," said Captain McDuffie, scratching his whiskers, and he radioed his boss. And from there, it proceeds to go from Morehead to New Orleans, from New Orleans to Mexico, from Mexico to Belize, from Belize to Houston, from Houston to Florida, and then it ends all the way back to the New York Harbor, where finally Brooklyn takes it and burns it into an incinerator. So fun to talk about the main points of the story on that. Then you're going to pass out the using North America continent map, and you can see what it looks like there, and have students locate on the North America map the 8 cities that are mentioned in the worksheet. Now, yeah, students should use atlases to locate these cities, but some of these you can just figure out intuitively. Students should know what Florida looks like and Texas and different states, but all right, and then point out the scale on the map. This is the math portion. You're going to discuss ways students could measure the distances. You could use string, you can use your finger, you can mark paper, and then how to figure out the fractional parts of either the miles or the kilometers that it's measured in. And then calculate the distances between the cities. What we're going to do is we're going to use these distances to get the total distance or the approximate distance that the barge traveled. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to read the article together. This is not an easy article to read. It's from the New York EPA standards. Reread it and have students highlight critical information from the text. And if I were you, I would highlight causes in one color and effects in the other, or somehow make sure that they understand which ones would be the cause and the effect that it had. And then complete the worksheet. You might want to do this in groups, individually. You know your students better. Do what you need to do. And assessment. Well, for mathematics, students will score 8 out of 10 points for mastery in math on the using the North America continent map worksheet. For geography, find out the mastery in geography by locating the cities on said map. And then for civics and reading, this will be 5 out of 6 for mastery on the environmental affairs in the New York State and historical overview cause and effect analysis worksheet. Extensions. Learn the song Garbage, and you can find it in many different renditions on the web. You might want to do your own PowerPoint of that first stanza for Garbage. And then invite the students to make art from garbage. Have a gallery showing of all the different things that they can make. Thank you.